I used to have several sites. Now I kind of like the grower's edge. It gives me that cash max. You can tell it which markets you're looking for, and it will tell you what your highest net back is based on the price they're paying at that time and the basis that they're paying. And that's pretty handy because I don't have to go to so many different sites.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name's Cody Bills, this is Kevin McNew. Today is the 20th year and we had the grains moving higher with corn leading the charge, up 10 cents, up 2.5%. Soybeans up 15 3/4 cents, and wheat in Chicago trading up 9.5 cents here on the day. Kevin, what's the reason that corn was able to make this bounce here
Well,
today?
It's definitely a demand story today. We had export sales that were very strong, coming in at 908,000 metric tons, well above the 500 to 700,000 that traders had expected going into the report. So that's positive. The other thing we had is early morning we had USDA announce another export sale, 104,000 metric tons to unknown destinations. And yesterday we had yet again another strong ethanol production week with 970,000 barrels per day. This puts us well above last year's pace. And factoring in where we're at year to date, we're looking at about a 4% higher pace than where we were this time last year. USDA only expecting about a 0.3%. So you've got demand beating the drum right now, but can it last?
Yeah, I think that is the question, and I think right now you got to be a little bit cautious here because when you look at the technicals, I think that yes, we did bounce off this 100-day moving average. You had great fundamental demand story to lift us off this moving average, but now we're going right into this trend line that supported us really since the beginning of October. Typically what happens is if you have a trend line that acted as support, when you break through it and then retest it, you have what's called a roll reversal. That roll reversal basically means what was support is now likely to act as resistance. You can see I put a number 1 here, that white circle on the far right of the screen. I think that's where we're likely to see some resistance here tomorrow. So just be cautious. It was a previous high in late October. It was a high back in middle of August. And it was also a point where we gapped lower here in July. So just keep that in mind. I think it's going to be a critical price level. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some resistance up around that level.
Right.
And I think, yeah.
The other thing too, Cody, is we have last trade day for those DEES options. So, it'll be interesting to see where we play out if we can push up into that 380 range and get some of those calls in the money, or if we stay down. But certainly last trade day could be exciting.
Yeah, that's definitely something to pay attention to. The other thing I was going to mention is that soybeans is kind of in a similar situation, talking about that sort of that trend line, the roll reversal. And I think with soybeans, technically it even looks a little bit worse of a scenario because you have that 100-day moving average also likely to offer in some resistance up there. So you'll notice on this chart, it is the daily chart of the soybean contract for January, and you'll see we are pushing up here really next to that 100-day moving average. I think that there's likely to be some resistance in the trade really across the board for grains here tomorrow.
Right, and certainly South America's production looks to be favorable. Wouldn't you say that probably bodes poorly for prices?
Absolutely. I think, what was this rally, what was the backbone of this rally? I think it was short-term demand. You had soy meal tightness in supplies, you had logistics problems. I think with the fact that harvest is for the most part wrapped up, these short-term demand scenarios that were moving prices higher are likely to ease. We're going to most likely switch our attention over to South America. Right now, South America is progressing nicely. They have adequate moisture. There's no significant crop concerns there right now. It is a little bit wet in Argentina, but for the most part, there's no major concerns. And I would say if we get even an average crop out of South America, we could see soybean prices a lot lower than where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you for joining us on GrainTV. If you got any questions, call us 877-472-4607. Visit us on Twitter, visit us on Facebook, and by all means, visit our website, grainhedge.com, to take a free trial.